Chapter 7. Rally Point. The convoy rolled up slow, tires crunching over cracked pavement as the Butlersville retirement home came into view through the tree line. Morning light had burned off most of the fog, but the air still held a chill that clung to skin like memory. Aaron's Xterra led the way, woodland camo paint streaked with mud from the back roads. Hammer's F-250 followed close behind, suspension groaning under the weight of fuel, food, and gear stacked in the bed. Aaron tapped the radio.
Eyes up. We're home. Sort of.
Ahead, the wide circular drive of the facility had been half blocked by an improvised barricade, dumpsters, chain link panels, and an old golf cart flipped on its side. A man stood watch near the entrance, rifle slung but ready. He stepped forward as the truck slowed to a crawl. It was Fireball. Aaron popped the door and climbed out. Odin jumped down beside him, tail up, posture alert, but calm. Behind them, doors opened and boots hit gravel. Fireball grinned wide beneath his ball cap.
You brought the cavalry.
Aaron slapped his hand into Fireball's, gave it a hard shake.
We brought what we could. You seen Sarge?
Yeah, he's inside. Place has held steady since y'all left, but morale's slipping. Food and water buys us some goodwill. What's this I hear about pancake mix?
Jace hauled a tote off the bed of the truck and thudded it down.
We aim to please.
Brittany came around with a smile, handing Fireball a clipboard.
Medical stuff. Sheets, MREs, water filters. Not enough, but better than nothing.
Fireball nodded, scanning the list.
They'll be grateful. Hell, I'm grateful. We can give this to Maggie to sort out.
The front doors opened, and out stepped Sarge. Gray beard trimmed tighter now, sleeves rolled, sidearm holstered. The man carried himself like he'd been running the place for years, not just a day and a half. He took one look at the gear, then the crew, and gave a sharp nod.
Looks like y'all mean business.
Aaron stepped forward.
We're not just here to drop supplies. We need to talk. Inside.
Sarge's expression didn't shift, but his eyes sharpened.
DHS.
Aaron gave a single nod.
Yeah. We're going after Sarah, Tessa's daughter and Mia Sarah's roommate. We've got rough location, but that's about it. We don't know troop strength, checkpoints, and to be honest, we're kind of going in blind. So we're going to need eyes, backup, and a plan, a real one.
Sarge didn't hesitate.
Let's get to work.
He led the group through the front lobby, still dimly lit, but cleaner than it had been a few days ago. The smell of bleach had replaced mildew. Residents peeked from doorways as the crew passed by, their expressions a mix of cautious hope and wariness. One old man even saluted as they walked by. Aaron returned it. As they came through the front lobby, the air smelled faintly of disinfectant and canned green beans. The place was cleaner than Aaron remembered. Someone had clearly been working hard. Maggie met them just past the dining room doors, wiping her hands on a dish towel. Her face lit up when she saw them.
Glad to see y'all. Sarge and Clint have been a huge help here.
Aaron nodded and gestured behind him.
That's great. Maggie, this is Tessa, Brittany, and the big guy is Odin.
Maggie glanced down and stepped back instinctively.
He's huge.
Aaron gave a half smile.
He's got a knack for sniffing out the infested. Thought I'd bring him over, run him through the place, just to be sure we don't have any hidden surprises lurking in the population.
Maggie raised an eyebrow.
Wait, you're saying he can smell the bugs?
Yeah, I think so,
Aaron replied.
I started using him back when this whole thing kicked off. SOP for our team decon involved a visual check, then a blood smear under UV. But Odin, he's always been first line. If someone's turning, he knows before we do.
He quickly outlined the process, how early infections could be caught through minor temperature changes, subtle smell shifts, behavioral tics, and of course, Odin's reactions. Maggie listened carefully.
Well, if it works for y'all,
she said, nodding slowly,
we can give it a try here, honestly. Just having him here might just lift everyone's spirits.
They glanced over to see Odin already sitting at Ethel's feet. The elderly woman, thin as kindling and wrapped in a knit shawl, scratched his thick ruff with both hands like she'd been waiting all week to see him. Her smile was broad and pure. Aaron smiled faintly.
He's good for morale, but he's also our canary in the coal mine. If anyone's hiding an early infection, he'll let us know.
Let's hope he doesn't find anything.
Maggie murmured.
These people have been through enough.
Aaron nodded, then jerked his thumb toward the trucks.
We brought a few things. It's not much. Some food, meds, spare clothing, a few jugs of fuel. But it should hold y'all over for a few days. Long enough to get a logistics chain started.
Maggie's eyes misted just slightly, but she kept her voice steady.
We didn't expect any of this. Not help, not supplies. Definitely not a war dog and a team of strangers willing to stick their necks out.
Aaron gestured toward Brittany.
She's a nurse, here to help with inventory, patient care, whatever you need.
Brittany gave a small wave and shouldered her med pack.
Where do you want me?
Maggie let out a breath that was part laugh, part disbelief.
We'll figure it out. God, thank you.
Tessa stepped forward.
We're just happy to help. Let's start unloading.
Maggie turned and shouted down the hallway.
Hey, we've got incoming supplies. Let's move, people.
The home came alive with movement. Residents shuffled up with walkers, volunteers, and staff emerged from side rooms, hustled out to the trucks. Tessa and Brittany were immediately absorbed into the controlled chaos. Brittany linked up with a short red-headed nurse named Kathy and began inventorying meds and evaluating patient needs. Tessa helped distribute food, organize bedding, and comfort residents who'd grown skittish from the noise and movement. Aaron stuck close by Odin as they moved room to room, checking for any unusual reactions. Nothing yet. Odin was calm, tail wagging slightly, alert but relaxed. That was a good sign. Once everything was unloaded and sorted, and the warmth of gratitude had been exchanged in handshakes and tearful thanks, Aaron retreated to the dining area and unrolled a large laminated map across a table. He traced the routes leading into Eastgate with his fingers, noting choke points, highway ramps, and potential overwatch positions. Footsteps approached. Sarge.
You know you're walking into a shit show down there, right?
He said, arms crossed. Aaron didn't look up.
Yeah, but for Tessa's sake, I've got to try. If Sarah's in there, I can't sit on my hands.
Sarge exhaled.
You can't do it alone. You know that.
Aaron nodded slowly.
I just don't want to get anyone else killed. I already feel the weight of too many bodies being drug into harm's way.
Sarge gave a short laugh.
Brother, we're all living in harm's way now. This ain't the old world. There's no safe anymore. Everyone's at risk, every hour.
Another voice joined them. Fireball. He'd seen them huddled over the map and wandered over with his rifle slung loose.
The mall, huh?
He asked, glancing down. Aaron nodded.
Eastgate. It fits with FM 339.4, internment and resettlement operations. Big footprint, plenty of square footage. Easy to secure, hard to escape. DHS and military don't improvise. They follow doctrine.
Just then, Jace walked up listening. Fireball frowned.
So, basically, a prison with vending machines.
Aaron's jaw tensed.
Yeah, and if Sarah's in there, she's one of the inmates.
Fireball leaned on the table.
Then we better figure out how to bust her out.
Jace frowned, arms crossed.
Yeah, but if we spook them too early, they'll relocate the prisoners. Then we've got nothing. Not even a trail.
Aaron tapped a calloused knuckle on the map.
That's why it has to be recon only. No contact. We watch, we listen, we record. If we can map their routines and traffic, we'll find our opening.
Fireball stepped forward and pointed to a tree line skirting the west side of the complex.
There's an old service trail behind Jungle Gyms. Used to be part of a delivery loop back in the day. Not paved anymore. Mostly forgotten. I used it to cut through when I was running dispatches for that auto shop off Beachmont. DHS might overlook it unless they've started locking things down tighter than Fort Knox.
Sarge leaned over the table, brow furrowed. He grabbed a marker and drew a jagged line through the trees.
There. That's our ingress. We park a click out, hike in under cover, set up an OP on this ridgeline here.
He circled a point near the northern edge of the property, overlooking the old kids' playground.
Gives us a clean line of sight to the mall's north entrance. We'll have visual on supply trucks, foot patrols, maybe even internment zones.
Tessa, standing just behind Aaron with her arms folded tight, finally broke her silence.
Getting in and watching? That's the easy part. What do we do if we find her? Or worse, if we don't?
Aaron didn't look at her.
Then we stay longer. We wait. We don't go loud. We don't act until we're damn sure there's too much at stake.
Tessa stepped forward.
You mean you stay? You're already planning to leave me out of this.
Aaron turned slowly. His voice was low but firm.
There's no we, Tess. I'm going. I won't ask any of you to come with me, especially not you.
That's my daughter, Aaron.
Her voice cracked, the rage barely masking the pain.
You expect me to sit here while you walk into a goddamn federal black site alone?
Fireball cut in.
Hey, don't make this about just you, man. You know I'm in. We're talking DHS. Trained, equipped, mean sons of bitches. You won't make it 2 blocks without backup. This isn't us smoking meth head druggies by your place. This could be a real fight.
Jace nodded.
He's right. If it were my kids, I know you'd already be gearing up.
Aaron shook his head.
I'm not saying I don't need help. I'm saying I can't take everyone. And Tess, I need you here. With Odin, with Brittany, Maggie. The people here, they need you. You're more help and can save more lives here than I can out there.
Tessa's eyes burned.
And what if you don't come back?
Aaron stepped closer, took her hands gently.
I'm coming back. But I need to know someone I trust is here, keeping the light on.
Tessa fought back tears.
You better come back the same way you left, or I swear I'll come find you myself.
Jace exhaled.
So it's settled. We go quiet, dark. No chatter once we're inside the perimeter. Hand signals only, sync watches, set fallback times.
Hammer cracked his neck.
If we're not back by dawn, pull out. Regroup here. We don't leave anyone hanging.
Aaron nodded.
We build a full log, patrol patterns, shift changes, supply drops. Once we see the gap, we make a call. Extract or wait. No hero bullshit.
Jace added.
We watch their timing like a metronome. Count the steps between every move.
Fireball looked around the table.
This ain't a shootout. This is chess. One wrong move, and they wipe the board.
Aaron looked at each of them in turn.
Then we don't flinch.